Navangscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatam Vitam Stam Sajivam Sadvetam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakam Vitangscha Om Jnanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Dena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Dena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Svapadantikam Haribo Jai Padikar Shri Shri Guru Gaurachandra Ji Ki Jai Jai Shri Giriraj Govardhan Ji Ki Jai Jai Om Vishnupad Paramhansa Parivrajaka Astatar Sata Shri Shriman Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai Jai Om Vishnupad Paramhansa Parivrajaka Astatar Sata Shri Shriman Srila Bhakti Rakak Sri Dardev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Welcome to Sri Chaitanya Saraswati Mission Morning Class. Dandavat. Continuing to worship Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, chapter number 3 of the Antya Lila, the glories of Haridas Thakur. Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda Jai Advaita Chandra Jai Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jai Advaita Chandra Jai Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Srila Krishna Das Kaviraj Ki Jai Srila Om Vishnupadesi Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Okay, here's text number 59. Nahamera akshara sabera eta svabhava yavahita haile nachare apana prabhava. The letters of the holy name have so much spiritual potency that they act even when uttered improperly. Purport. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur states that the word vyavyahita, improperly uttered, is not used here to refer to the mundane vibration of the letters of the alphabet. Such negligent utterances for the sense gratification of materialistic persons is not a vibration of transcendental sound. In other words, just by saying Krishna with the tongue and the teeth and the throat does not make the we can't produce the transcendental name in that way. Utterance of the holy name while one engages in sense gratification is an impediment on the path towards achieving ecstatic love of Krishna. On the other hand, if one is eager for devotional service, one who is eager for devotional service utters the holy name even partially or improperly, the holy name, which is identical with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, exhibits his spiritual potency because of that person's offenseless utterance. Offenseless, meaning he has some eagerness and necessity. Thus one is relieved from all unwanted practices, and one gradually awakens his dormant love for Krishna. So this verse is referring to improper pronunciation or something like that by the sincere chanter. That name will purify the heart, but it's not that just by making a sound with our tongue and our lips that's going to be the holy name. There has to be, but it can be namabhas. So there are many fine points here. Namaikam yasya vachi smarana patagatam shrotamulam gatam va shuddham vishuddhavarnam vyavahita rahitam taratyacheva satyam Chachchedeha dravina janata lobapa sandamaje nikshiptam syana palajanakam sigram evatra vipra. If a devotee once utters the holy name of the Lord, or if it penetrates his mind or enters his ear, which is the channel of oral reception, that holy name will certainly deliver him from material bondage, whether vibrated properly or improperly, with correct or incorrect grammar, or properly joined or vibrated in separate parts. O Brahman, the potency of the holy name is therefore certainly great. However, if one uses the vibration of the holy name for the benefit of the material body, or material wealth, or for material wealth or followers, or under the influence of greed or atheism, in other words, if one utters the name with offenses, such chanting will not produce the desired result very soon. Therefore, one should diligently avoid offenses in chanting the holy name of the Lord. This verse is from the Padma Purana, and it is included in the Hari Bhakti Vilas by Sanatana Goswami. Therein, Sanatana Goswami gives the following explanation. Then there's the Sanskrit. And the Sanskrit means that if one somehow or other hears, utters, or remembers the holy name, or if it catches his mind while coming near to his ears, that holy name, even if vibrated in separate words, will act. An example of such separation is given. Suppose one is using the two words halam and riktam. Now the syllable ha in the word halam and the syllable ri in riktam are separately pronounced, but nevertheless the holy name will act because somehow or other one utters the word Hari. Similarly, the word Raja Mahishi, the syllable Ra and Ma appear in two different words, but because they somehow or other appear together, or at the same time, the holy name Rama will act, providing there are no offenses. So there is a difference between doing that innocently and doing that with the intention of using the holy name for a low purpose. There's a very big difference. Like in the case of Ajamil, he's chanting Narayan. He's calling his son, actually. He's not praying to the Lord. But that was Namabas. He was not trying to utilize the name for something. The holy name has so much spiritual potency that it can deliver one from all sinful reactions and material entanglements. But utterance of the holy name will not be very soon fruitful if it is done to facilitate sin or sinning. That is misuse of the holy name. So maybe after a long, long time, something may change within that person. But there is a big hindrance there. The holy name is so powerful that it must act. But when one utters the holy name with offenses, its action will be delayed, not immediate, although in favorable circumstances, the holy names of the Lord act very quickly. Is there any question on this point?
No, right now.
It's not an easy point to catch. But there is a big difference between namabhas, or chanting sort of accidentally, or innocently, although it is not, we're not uttering the pure name, but with innocent intent, or just by accident. There's a great difference between that and namaparad. Text 61. Namabhasa haite haya sarva papakshai. Namacharya Haridas Thakur continued, if one offensively chants the holy name, even imperfectly, means doesn't know how to say it right, one can be freed from all the results of sinful life. Tam nirvyajam bhajaguna nidde pavanam pavananam Shraddhara janmatir atitaram uttama shloka maulim Prodyan antakarana kuhare hantayan namabanor Abasopi kshapayati mahapataka dvantarasim. O reservoir of all good qualities, just worship Sri Krishna, the purifier of all purifiers, the most exalted of the personalities worshipped by choice poetry. Uttama Shloka is one of the names of the Lord, or one who is worshipped by the best of poetry. Worship him with a faithful, unflinching mind, without duplicity, and in a highly elevated manner. Thus worship the Lord, whose name is like the sun, for just as the slight appearance of the sun dissipates the darkness of night, so a slight appearance of the holy name of Krishna can drive away all the darkness of ignorance that arises in the heart due to greatly sinful activities performed in previous lives. I'm going to read this verse again. It's very, very important that we are on our guard not to use the name for any purpose other than to desperately hope to become a servant of that name. If we use it for name or fame or for getting getting followers or getting wealth, I'm going to chant the name, or I'm going to go on sinning and chanting the holy name so that I'm not going to get any reaction. Those are all sinful misuse or aparad. So, O reservoir of all good qualities, just worship Sri Krishna, the purifier of all purifiers. Whatever is purifying in this world is purified by the holy name. It is the most exalted of the personalities worshipped by choice poetry. Worship him with a faithful, unflinching mind, without duplicity, and in a highly elevated manner. Thus worship the Lord, whose name is like the sun, for just as a slight appearance of the sun dissipates the darkness of night. If you're up early in the morning and you're looking over at the horizon and you can see the sun isn't even up yet, but it's still dissipating the darkness of night. So even the slightest appearance of the sun dissipates the darkness of night. So a slight appearance of the holy name of Krishna can drive away all the darkness of ignorance that arises in the heart due to greatly sinful activities performed in previous lives. So that's compared to the darkness of night. And the slight appearance of the real name, or offenseless chanting of the name, can dissipate so much darkness. even of very sinful activities. Namabasa haite hoy samshare rakshai. Even a faint light from the holy name of the Lord can eradicate all the reactions of sinful life. So we are chanting. But it is, Guru Maharaj says, when he was asked about japa, he's saying it is quality over quantity. The quantity is not the issue. It is the quality that is the issue. And another time when Guru Maharaj was asked about should we attend every kirtan, he said it's depending on who is leading the kirtan. We don't attend the kirtans of everyone. They must be in the line of our gurus and chanting in the proper mood. Mriyamano harer nama grinan putro pacharitam ajamilo pyagadama kimuta shadaya gnan. While dying, Ajamil chanted the holy name of the Lord, intending to call his son Narayan. However, he attained the spiritual world. Then what to speak of those who chant the holy name with faith and reverence? This is a verse from the Srimad Bhagavatam. Oh, Haridev Prabhu. Haridev. No, I'm just saying that you are asking what chapter that story was in. So it's chapter 6. The story of Ajamil is in chapter 6, the second.
Of the Brahma that they killed people?
Huh? Remember he was calling the name of his son, Narayan?
Yeah, of the Brahma.
Brahma?
He was a Brahman, right?
Oh, he was a Brahmin. He became very sinful. Right, exactly. You were saying, where is that in the Srimad Bhagavatam? That's in the 6th canto, the 2nd chapter.
Okay, thank you.
Namabase mukti hoy sarva shastre deki Shri Bhagavate tateya jamila shakshi. Because of even the faintest rays of the effulgence of the Lord's holy name, one can attain liberation. We can see this in all the revealed scriptures. The evidence appears in the story of Ajamil in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Shunya prabhura shukabadaye antare punarapi bangikari puchaye tahare. As Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard this from Haridas Thakur, the happiness within his heart increased, but as a matter of course, he still inquired further. Pritivite bahu jiva stavara jangama iha sabara ki prakare haibe mochana. Haibe mochana. There will be deliverance. On this earth there are many living entities, the Lord said, some moving and some not moving. What will happen to the trees, plants, insects, and other living entities? How will they be delivered from material bondage? Listen to this question of Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu is so compassionate. He is asking Haridas Thakur, but there are so many other living entities, not just humans, but so many other living entities who cannot even chant the holy name. What will happen to them? How are they to be delivered from material bondage?
Oh, they're enjoying themselves. They have made it.
But Mahaprabhu is concerned, asking Haridas Thakur. And just like one time, I've said this many times, I think probably, but somebody asked Guru Maharaj, the people in the West are so deep, they really need the Sankirtan movement. And Guru Maharaj said, what, only the humans? What about the other living beings? Haridasa kahe Prabhu se kripa tomara stavara jangama age kariyache nishtara. Haridas Thakur replied, "My dear Lord, the deliverance of all moving and non-moving living entities takes place only by your mercy. You have already granted this mercy and delivered them. Tumi je kariyacha e uccha sankirtana stavara jangamera se hayata shravana." You have loudly chanted the Hare Krishna mantra, and everyone moving or non-moving has benefited by hearing it.
Didi. There's some interaction in the chat this morning.
Somewhat?
Interaction. Would you like to hear some questions?
Oh, sure.
By Ananya Sundari.
Oh.
She asked 12 minutes ago.
What was that?
12 minutes ago she asked,
Oh, okay.
how is it possible to chant with atheism?
With what?
This is her question.
Uh-huh.
How is it possible to chant with atheism? Atheism.
With atheism?
Atheism.
Oh, it just means you make the sound.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we can't make the sound of Krishna's name by our mouth. So it's not the real name. But some atheists are chanting. I mean, even the Mayavadis, who are atheists, they chant. They have kirtan. They have kirtan. But it is all for something else. It's not for... The real name cannot appear there, will not appear there. But there are atheists who get together and have kirtan. Kirtan is becoming a thing. But that doesn't mean that they're devotees or they have any intention of becoming devotees. It can just be like a cool thing to do. Is that kind of clear? So it's not that because we say Krishna, that suddenly we have produced from our tongue and our teeth and our lips the holy name of the Lord. That's what Haridas Thakur and Srila Sanatana Goswami being quoted there also. So when we're chanting, it's not the real, our chanting, we are trying to chant under the direction of doing our duty as given to us by our Gurudev in the mood of service and surrender. But we can't think that what's coming out, I can't think, the thing that's coming out of my mouth is Krishna. Like I can make Krishna come, that name will appear of its own accord in the purified heart, which is completely free from gyan and karma. But as Gurudev said this one morning in Navadvip, and it's an important point. After Tulsi Parikrama and everything, we used to go up to see Gurudev. And Gurudev was saying, I was thinking today, what is the connection with our chanting and the actual name of Krishna? Is there a connection? Do they have anything to do with each other? This is Gurudev was saying this. He didn't say that last part, I'm just explaining. He's saying, what is the connection between our chanting and the holy name of the Lord? Of course, including himself with deep humility. And he said, and I understood, we are trying. We are trying to chant the name of the Lord without offense, and the Lord may be merciful to us. So that is a very important explanation. So we are trying. Not like, oh, well, I can't chant the holy name, so I'm just not going to try. No, we're trying. And failing, and then taking shelter of the name again. Like we're just chanting, maybe chanting on our japa with no attention span. And thinking about this and that. Maybe thinking of some service we have to do, which is approved of by Srila Saraswati Thakur. So Guru Maharaj is saying quality over quantity. We are chanting, trying to chant properly and faithfully. But There's all kinds of, when you, yeah, so we are not joining something because it's kirtan. We don't join the kirtan of every group. Their kirtan may be actual aparad.
She also asked another question after that one,
Sure.
and it had to do with like the attention that you mentioned. Is there such a thing? I'm sorry, I'm gonna read it again.
Huh?
Is there such thing as mindlessly chanting, and is it negative to us in any way?
Mindlessly?
Mindlessly.
Again, it's a question of, yes, for sure. It may not be aparad though. We do chant. It's like Namabas is, I can give you an example that Guru Maharaj gives. You wake up in the morning and you're trying to, wake your mind and go, Krishna, but you're not, maybe not actually chanting, oh my Lord Krishna, please engage me. So it may be just saying Krishna. Or sometimes you'll see something terrible like, oh Krishna. But maybe you're not actually remembering the Lord in any way. That's namabas. And it's mindlessly in a certain way. Or you're chanting on your japa. And then Guru Maharaj is saying, preaching is real kirtan. Real chanting means preaching. There you can give your full attention. You have to give your full attention. That is more than japa. But we do chant japa. We want to give some service to our beads, but trying to be attentive, but it's more difficult to be attentive. The mind is running off, then you bring it back, running off, and then, so of course we're many times chanting inattentively. But we are trying. And it's not just attentive, but we are trying to have the mood of a service and surrender as possible by us, but this is our practicing life. I hope I'm answering your question, Ananya.
Then Bhima Krishna Prabhu contributes this topic by saying that chapter 14 in the Revealed Truth, the transcendental form of the Lord, is a very beautiful chapter about chanting Harinam by Srila Gurudev.
Very good. So chapter 14 of Revealed Truth.
Mm-hmm.
Lovely.
All right. That's
Jai
it.
Bimal Prabhu. Okay. All right. Lovely.
Thank you, Didi.
Lovely questions. So nice. Okay. Jai Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki
Jai.
Jai Srila Krishna Das Kaviraj ki Jai.
Jai.
Srila Om Vishnu Padesi Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki
Jai.
And, of course, Sriman Mahaprabhu ki Jai and Sri
Jai.
Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki Jai.
Jai.
And we were going to read a passage that you recommended yesterday, Bimal Prabhu, which I can't remember what it was, from the Upadesamrita. What was the passage you recommended yesterday? I wanted you to remind me today. But we'll just start chanting the Upadesamrita. Maybe you could or you could find that, Haridev Prabhu, because I don't remember what it was.
Yeah, on page 155 of Sri Upadesamrita, Srila Guru Maharaj also talks about Haram and Namavas.
About what?
Haram and Namavas.
Right. Okay. So that's a good, maybe we can start with that actually, because we've just now, again, being instructed. What was the page?
155.
155. Oh yes, exactly. When he was being attacked by a hog. Because this Muslim, I think he was a Muslim man. We may take the name, Jai Sri Upadesamrita ki Jai, Srila Rupa Goswami Pad ki Jai, Sad Goswami Prabhu ki Jai, and Sri Rupa Nuga Guru Varga ki Jai. So here, we may take the name, but the underlying purpose should not be judged. What name comes depends not on the mental system, the outer acquaintance, but the inner awakenment. We may take the name, but the underlying purpose should be judged, is what he's saying. What is the purpose? Somebody may be saying the name this for this purpose, or that purpose, or that purpose, or that purpose. Will it be the real name? Is Krishna bound by someone making a particular sound? Certainly not. However, what name comes depends not on the mental system, the outer acquaintance, but the inner awakenment, the relation with Krishna. Still, there may sometimes be some effect simply from chanting the name, and that is namabhas. But that is not namaparad. They are two different things. So, dangstri dangstrahato mlech. Mlecho ha ramiti puna puna. Uktvapi muktim apnotikim puna sradaya gnan. Here, a hog is attacking a Mohammedan, and the Mohammedan says, Haram, haram. Haram refers to the hog. He's going, hog, hog. There is a boar attacking me, and he's disgusting. Because it means something abominable, haram. Because he's not only getting killed, but he's thinking he's getting killed by this abominable thing. Oh, alas, there's a hog coming to attack me. The name of Ram is being chanted here and may have some influence. Because he's not being duplicitous. He's not misusing the name. He's just chanting it. He's just saying something that is like the name. And that's called namabhad. You see the difference. It's not manipulative. It's not misuse. So this is a different thing. The name of Ram is being chanted. So there is namaparad and there is namabhas. So there are the 10 offenses against the holy name, which we should be very careful about, especially utilizing the name to relieve me of my sinful reaction that I'm continuing to commit. By namabhas, we can get some relief from this worldly bondage, but by namaparad, we may become more entangled in the Mayic world.
More than if we don't even chant it.
Because it's offense. So there's an expression, and we're going to read more on this page pretty soon. So this is really nice.
Do you think there would be a closer word instead of offense? Because maybe the Lord doesn't get offended, right? Does he get offended by us?
No, he's not taking offense. But say you're a very saintly person and you're very tolerant, and I come up and slap you. That may not bother you, but it's definitely going to affect my relationship with you. Mm-hmm. It will hurt my own heart. It will cause trouble to my own progress. I have made some very big obstacle in my own progress. It's offense in that sense. It is very great, and then the more that we can understand that, the more repugnant it is in our heart to ever make an offense to the name. This is so wonderful. Why it's abominable to do that. Just like offending a great devotee, he may not be offended, but the Lord is enraged. How could you do such a thing to such a pure-hearted, saintly person? So that's why it's called offense. It is wrong. It's very wrong to do that.
To the
So can anyone hear
relationship,
you
right?
speaking? I guess they can.
To the relationship, right?
Because it's if I'm acting like that toward you, it is completely ruining it is going against my own ability to come into the merciful influence of the saintly person, or the Lord, or the name.
Okay, thank you.
The fact that they don't take offense makes it worse of an offense.
Because like taking advantage of their mercy.
Yeah, because they're so kind. Their nature is so great. They are so tolerant, so loving. To do that to this type of person is worse than just some ordinary person. So it's like a razor's edge. It's compared to the edge of a razor, spiritual life. Because on one hand, it's very useful. But if it's misused, then it can do harm to us. So Gurma is stating clearly, the aparad can be worse than if you're not chanting at all. To misuse the name for some mundane purpose, to get some followers, to get some admiration, to get some fame, some wealth, that is aparad. That's not namabas. Namabas is a relatively innocent thing. Is that pretty clear?
Yeah.
And again, the parallel, we're reading about this in the Chaitanya Charitamrita and in the Upadesamrita. It happens so often. I find it so wonderful. So again, so we haven't actually chanted the shlokas yet, so we'll go ahead and do that now. Vacho vegam manasakroda vegam jiva vegam udara pasta vegam etan vegam yogi shaheta dhira sarvam apimam prativitsisya. Do you have paper?
The urges of the speech, the urges of the mind, anger, tongue, belly and genitals. A persevering person,
Sober person.
a sober and persevering person who can control these 6 urges can instruct the entire world.
Okay. Atyahara prayasascha prajalpo niyamagraha janasangascha loyam cha sadbir bhaktir vinashati. Over accumulation, over endeavor, unnecessary talk, misapplication of rules, association with non-devotees, and fickle-mindedness. Devotion is destroyed by these 6 faults. Fickle-minded. I want devotion, I don't want it. It doesn't matter. I want it, I don't want it. I'm here, I'm not here. I'm doing this, I'm not doing this. Utsahanishchayatayat tat karma pravartanat sangatyaga sato virte sabir bhakti prasidhyati.
Enthusiasm, conviction, perseverance, engaging in favorable activities, rejection of the association of non-devotees, also meaning the non-devotee part of a devotee, and following the conduct of great souls. Bhakti, devotion, is being nourished by these 6 qualities.
Very good. Tadati pratigrahnati guhyam makyati pritchati bhungte bhojayate chaiva sadvidam pritilakshanam. Giving and accepting gifts, discussing and inquiring about confidential matters, and giving and partaking of foods are the 6 characteristics of love. Krishneti yasya giritam manasadriyeta
Tikshasti chet pranativis cha
cha bhajantamanyam sushushaya bhajana vigyam ananyana avigyam ananyamanya nindati yasya hridam ipsita sangalabdya. I was saying it all day yesterday. But I'm still going to be a couple more days before I fully...
Yeah, you're almost there.
Huh?
You're almost there.
Let's hope so. Honor with the mind those who chant Krishna's name. And we have been hearing about that. What is the quality of that name? We have to understand. But if someone is chanting Krishna's name, even Namabas, we honor that. But we do not honor Namaparad.
How about someone that is chanting the names of the Lord with the purpose of just feeling more joyful, but doesn't understand anything about Vaishnavism? It just innocently they heard that it's a mantra that can help you be more
It depends
joyful.
on the individual case. What that consciousness is. It may be, oh yeah, I like it. And maybe, oh yeah, I mean, there can be so many, there's a big realm of
Yeah.
It can be so many different things. Haribol. Honor within the mind those who chant Krishna's name. Honor with obeisance those who are initiated and serve the Lord. And honor with service those who are expert in devotion, who are exclusively devoted, whose hearts are free from the duality of criticizing and praising others, and who are the most desirable association. All right, so we're continuing to read this chapter, this verse. The commentary by Srila Bhakti Prakak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj. On page 136 in this Upadesamrita, it's in the middle of the page. What to speak of lesser devotees, Srimati Radharani herself says, people associate me with Krishna. They say I have an illicit connection with Krishna. But what they say is all false. My grief is that I could not give my entire heart to Krishna. I cannot say that I am completely His. My internal trouble is that I could not become wholly His. And they falsely think that I am. I have no objection to become fully His, even to having an illicit connection with Him. Of course, that's not possible, but that I cannot become so. That is my great fault. She's saying, I'm not defending myself. That no, I'm not with Krishna. That I'm being accused, of course, as a matter of pastimes, accused of wrongly being with Krishna and so on and so on. She's saying, no, I'm not defending that. What is my problem? What is my grief? Is that I am not fully His. And that will be the general attitude of any real Ananya Bhakta. He's not thinking, oh, I'm so devoted, I'm such a great devotee. He's thinking, no, I'm not. I am not that. If devotion herself is thinking this, then what will we think? This opposite tendency will come. The fact is that one who has accepted Krishna exclusively has no taste for any other thing. So really they are not durachar. They are not capable of acting in any abominable way. So Krishna is saying in the Gita, remember that this is the commentary on Apichet, oh my God. Abhichet Sudaracharo. Bhajate Mama Nanyaba. So Krishna is using, even if he does something very, very wrong. But in fact, there's no question. They can never do anything wrong. If they're fully devoted to Krishna, where's the definition of wrong? What wrong can there be? So, Srila Guru Maharaj is emphasizing this. They're not capable of acting in any abominable way. Internally, they are always connected with Krishna. In external life, they are indifferent. So what they are doing is not being actually done by them. One who acts in the plane of reality. One who acts in that plane of reality may destroy thousands of universes. But he doesn't actually do anything in terms of the doing of this world, which brings so much reaction. There's no involvement with that at all. So Lord Shiva is destroying universes. He does it every time. Is he sinful? He's killing everyone. So, he's doing this as a devotee of the Lord. One who acts in that plane of reality may destroy thousands of universes, but does not do anything in the plane of matter. Hatvapi sa imaloka nahantina nibhajate. One who is acting in the transcendental plane. One is acting in the transcendental plane, the nirguna plane. One is not to be seen in terms of what is good or bad in the calculation of this world. One is absent here. I think it's clear. Like, for example, a man who is protecting a citizen may kill someone. Is that abominable? He may kill an attacker.
No.
Like, for example, if a soldier is out and someone is being attacked, he may kill that attacker. But does that mean he's doing wrong?
No.
That's just a really normal example. Or a surgeon is taking a knife and cutting someone. Is that abominable? So when a pure devotee is acting in any way, it is never abominable. His intention is never abominable. It is of the highest quality, and whatever he's done, he's being moved by his mood of surrender to the will of the Lord. So this is the meaning. That which is in connection with Krishna is always good. It is all good, not only always good, which is what I said, but what Guru Maharaj is saying, it is all good. So it is always good, and it is fully good. It is nirguna, transcendental, without material qualities. In this world, truth is a relative thing. This is true, that's not true, this is mine, that is yours. But that is not real truth. What value do these things have? If a devotee steals a flower for Krishna, you may say, "Oh, why are you stealing my flower?" But what is the guarantee that that flower belongs to you? These are different stages of bogus conceptions of reality. That doesn't mean we're going to go running out stealing everybody's flowers now, because what happens is there's no wrong in it. But what happens is it will cause disturbance towards the temple and also a hindrance to the friendly feelings of others. A man who has possession of some land declares himself the owner. Then a big landowner comes and says, "You're not the owner. I have real possession of this land. I've allowed you only to use it." But beyond the landowner, a king may come and say, "Oh no, this is my land. Your ownership is only relative. I am the ruler of this land, and it belongs to me. In this way, one relative conception of truth fights with another, and morality stands only on this conception. This is mine, and that is yours.
Everyone's serving somebody. That's one of the reasons why.
All these conceptions of ownership are false. All these transactions of morality are false because they are not in connection with the supreme truth. So the devotee's apparent misbehavior is quite the contrary in reality. So we have to remember what this verse is about. One should not judge the behavior of a devotee, of a fully surrendered devotee, in terms of any kind of fault based on some kind of mundane conception.
Ahuri is called.
In the material world, conceptions of good and bad or right and wrong are all mental concoctions. Therefore, saying this is good and this is bad is all a mistake. One may say, this is our temple. You cannot come in here and do wrong. But that is not a mistake, because we are thinking we are the caretakers of our Gurudev's property and the property of the deity. This is not wrong to say that. But that is real ownership. In other words, it is within the jurisdiction of my duty that I have to take care of something. So we're not going to become Mayavadis, but we can do everything with the real conception of who the whole animation, the whole of existence is actually serving the Lord, and consciously so. And in the plane of misconception, that will not, those in the plane of misconception are not aware of that. But we must become aware of that. And then everything we do will be in relation to the absolute truth, not some relative, ultimately false, completely, a conception completely based on misunderstanding at its root. If you're doing a long mathematical calculation, if you start out wrong, then the whole thing's wrong. A tiny mistake in the beginning will make the whole equation completely wrong. So any kind of morality based on this is mine, this is yours, I am this, you are that, it's going to be wrong all the way to the last part of it. Right?
Correct.
Could you possibly
Hare
give me
Krishna.
the drum?
The drum? The drum?
Drum.
Okay.
So tomorrow we'll continue, and this is a very, very long commentary, and very, very important. Thank you.
Bueno.
Hare Krishna. And we can see all these qualities in ourselves. I don't know about everybody else, but I can definitely feel my own, lacking in this department. But we have an ideal by the grace of Guru and Guranga. And we're trying to practice that ideal, and we're trying to help others to come out of the relative nonsense idea that is wrong from start to finish and causing so much suffering, and offer to connect others with our Guru. We're not connecting them with ourselves. We're trying to connect them with our Guru, and we have to get our ego out of the way as far as possible. Hari
Sri Advaita Chandra Jagadhara Srivasari Gauravakarita Jaya Rupa Sanata Mata Raghunata Sri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raghunata Jai Gosai Kori Charana Bandhana Jai Devi Nana Shavista Purana Jai Gosai Jara Murita Das Dasavara Paderenu Mora Panchavyasa Adra Charana Sevi Vasasa Nivasa Janame Janame Mura Abhilasa Jai Gosai Jai Gaji Koilavasa Radha Krishna Nitya Lila Korila Prakasha Anande Bolo Kari Vaja Vrindavana Shri Guru Vaishnava Pare Majari Damana Shri Guru Vaishnava Parapadma Toriyasha Hari Nama Sankirtana Kokinaro Samadasa Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol
Jai Jai Sparikashi Shivu Gauranga Gandharva Govinda Sundar Ju Ki Jai Jai Shri Giriraj Govardhan Ju Ki Jai
Jai.
Jai Vishnupad Paramahansa Paribhajakacharya Astutar Shri Srimati Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai
Jai.
Jai Vishnupad Paramahansa Paribhajakacharya Astutar Shri Srimati Srila Bhakti Rakha Sri Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai
Jai.
Shri Rupa Nuga Guru Varga Ki Jai
Jai.
Shri Chaitanya Saraswati Mat Acharya Vrinda Ki Jai
Jai.
Sannyasi Vrinda Ki Jai
Jai.
Nam Acharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki
Jai.
Sagoswami Prabhu Ki Jai
Jai.
Saparshad Sriman Mahaprabhu Ki
Ki
Jai
Jai.
Saparshad Sri Nityananda Prabhu Ki Jai Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shyamakunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai
Jai.
Jai Chaitanya Saraswat Mat Ki Jai.
Jai.
Saka Mat Ki Jai. Sri
Jai.
Chaitanya Saraswat Mission Ki Jai.
Jai.
Kol Kartal Ki Jai.
Jai.
Harinam Sankirtan Ki
Ki
Jai.
Jai.
Samaveda Vaishnava Mandala Ki Jai.
Jai.
Samaveda Bhakti Vrinda Ki
Ki
Jai.
Jai.
Srimati Tulsi Devi Ki
Jai.
Jai. Nitai Gaur Premanandi.
Hari Bol. Srimati Sri Lekha Didi Ki
Jai Gurudev Ki
Jai.
Jai. Hari Bol.
Bhima Krishna Prabhu Ki Jai. Ganga Lila Didi Ki Jai. Kumkum Didi Ki Jai. Ananya Sundari Didi Ki Jai. Shyama Malini from London Ki Jai. And Bhakti Boni Ki Jai.
Dandavat, Dandavat, devotees Ki Jai.
Tutti i devoti Ki Jai. Vila Govinda Ki Jai.
Jai. Hari Bol.
Dandavat to everyone. Have a beautiful day.
In
What was
Krishna
it?
consciousness,
In Krishna
in
consciousness.
devotional life, there is no other beautiful day.